Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, or good night, whatever time you're watching. Welcome to the weekend, Maidenettes and Maidenites. Is that an actual word? We'll go with it. It's Maidencast.
Yeah, that's it.
How are you lovely people. And this is episode 34. And I know because I rehearsed before.
Look at that, on the ball.
This week, we had Matter of Life and Death, a later day masterpiece by the Maidens. And then this week, we are catching up with our old mate Blaze.
He's been away, hasn't he, for a while?
He did. He went. We're going to cover all that. He did go away for a little bit, but he never goes down for long. Our Blaze, as we said, the Frank Bruno, of metal, and we are back with the man who would not die. And
that's
there's
a bit of a title, though, isn't it? I mean,
glare there, but you can't really see on this one because I've got a signed edition, you know. So.
It's such an apt title, though, isn't it?
Yeah. I suppose I'll get a bit into a bit of background. Basically, the Blaze train came to a crushing halt. I don't know too much. I hear conflicting information, so and this is a bit of I'm shooting from the hip a little bit, but obviously he was given a deal at the end of Maiden. And that was a 3-album deal. So he's got 3 albums and a live album. The band's bass player and drummer quit at that point. So that last album was done with the 2 guitarists and a session bassist and drummer. I don't know if they toured on the back of that one as well, but basically, from what I gather, it ran out of money. The whole thing just came to a halt.
Yeah.
And apparently, Blaze did remortgage his house to keep that band going. So
quite a mad one, isn't it?
It seems any money he made from Maiden soon went. I hope he wasn't.
He did manage to stretch it though. I mean, getting 3 albums out of it and a live album, he done all right. He
obviously done a fair bit of touring as well.
He's known from Rod, hasn't he? Out to stretch it as far as it can go.
Yeah. I mean, I hope he wasn't stupid enough to sign his rights away for Maiden. Like, I hope he still gets some sort of royalty when they did that. Unlike somebody else.
Who's that then?
But hopefully he's not daft enough to have done that. I mean,
Legacy of the Beast would have paid for a new house on its own, wouldn't it?
Yeah. So anyway, so at this point, he basically quits.
Mind you, saying that
music.
It wouldn't have done, would it? Because he didn't write either song.
Did he not write Sign of the Cross or
Sign of the Cross and the Klansman, both Stevie?
Yeah, but don't forget we had the iTunes remasters and then the back catalogue being reissued on vinyl and things. So if he wrote anything, he would have got something for it. I would have thought.
Yeah, he wrote obviously Man on the Edge and Look for the Truth and that.
Yeah. He wrote Man on the Edge as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that's a single.
Man on the Edge.
Yeah. So anyway,
but we died.
He ends up basically becoming a citizen. Apparently, got a job at Halfords. That would have been fucking cushy, wouldn't it?
You imagine? Take your car in, is there?
Yeah. And got severely depressed, as I can imagine any of us would be.
Yeah, fucking hell, right.
And not quite sure in what order this goes. So you'll have to place this together yourself. But 2 things happened. Blaze gets reacquainted with an old friend. And I don't know if it meant they were apparently they went to school together and she was a friend during the Wolfsbane days. Now, I don't know if they were boyfriend and girlfriend and they got back together or she was just a friend, but they then got together then. So either way, he'd lost contact. He was in contact with this woman before during the Wolfsbane days. Apparently went to school together and they got together. They moved out to Gran Canaria. She ran a salon, and I think he basically helped out with that. And she basically just went, "Why don't you just carry on?" And he sort of said, "It's all come to an end. I've got nothing. Can't get a deal. Can't get a thing." And she went, "Nah, fuck that. We're going to start you from scratch. You're Blaze Bayley. You're the singer of fucking Wolfsbane. You sung in Iron Maiden, for fuck's sake. Someone somewhere wants to listen to you, surely." Yeah. And not only that, why did you call your albums Blaze? You're Blaze Bayley. That's a good name. So at this point, now I don't know if this was the other way round, but a metal festival got in touch with Blaze and offered him a headline slot. And he went, oh, shit, better get a band together. He went, I'll tell you what, I'll do it, but you've got to film it. And I want to release it as a live album, stroke DVD, whatever. And, not to worry. Now, that DVD got released in 2007 through Metal Mind Productions, I believe. And it was Blaze live in Poland.
Oh, it's that one.
And let me just make sure I got that right. Yes, Metal Mind Productions. Now, all of their stuff is really good. They've done I've got a few of their DVDs. They must have their venue, and they must have everything set up to film. They must film everyone that plays there, and then they go, "Do you want to release this and buy it off us or something?" Because I can think of about 4 or 5 albums or DVDs that are all. I've got Onslaught. I think I've got a Paul Di'Anno one, the famous Gogoroth one. Have you ever seen the Gogoroth where they've got literally fucking sheep heads on the front of the stage, and there's naked people crucified on stage, like with bags over their head, like fully naked, covered in blood. Like they were there the whole fucking thing, all covered in flames everywhere, covered in blood. I'm like, Satan! And it didn't actually get released for about 10 years afterwards because it got banned.
Fucking hell,
Decapitated, so Metal Mind Productions, they've got it going on. So so he goes, right, do me a favour, I'll do that festival, but help me film it so I can release it. And that was his springboard. Now, not quite sure at what order, but as you can see, things are coming back together. So his girlfriend, who he now marries, becomes his manager and gives him a kick up the arse, just like Sharon Osbourne, just like Wendy Dio,
don't compare it to Sharon.
Well, there's plenty of rock stars whose wives are their manager, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So, and despite what you think of her, what would Ozzy have done if it weren't for her? Let's be honest. So,
Sepultura would still be together.
Yeah.
So they don't always work out, but Blaze
that was the other one I was trying to think of.
Blaze picked a good one though.
Yeah. So where was I? So that concert, I've not got that DVD, by the way, because everywhere that sells it for a fortune. It must have been like a limited edition thing. But he gets that line up together, really good concert, and he has a really good rapport with the band. I think we got something here, and then they start writing and put together Man Who Would Not Die. Let's go for the lineup quickly as well.
It sort of drew a blank on Wikipedia because 3 of them haven't got links, and the one who has got a links back to the same page.
Right, so you got David Bermudez, who is in Under Threat, awesome band, and I thought he was in a band called No, that's an Electrocution, but no, I think that's the next album, or what album? A few albums down the line. But yeah, Under Threat, that sort of melodic death metal with a bit of melody in for good measure. Lawrence Patterson on drums, English drummer. I think he went on to do something quite interesting as well. His name rings a bell. In Rogue Mail at the moment, he was in Aftermath, Chokehold, Chimera, but I don't think it's that one. Raven Lord, Iron Knights. I've lost my place. 1 sec. And on Nicholas Bermudez, he is now the singer. Nope. Sorry about that. Nicholas Bermudez is also in Under Threat. And I've completely ballsed up. David Bermudez, who I mentioned earlier, he's on bass. Nicholas Bermudez is on guitar. There you go. And Jay Walsh is on guitar. And he is now currently the singer and vocalist and guitarist for Eccentrics. He was on their new album, Bury the Pain, which came out in 2019. And he's also the guitarist in Bull Riff Stampede. and the singer and the drummer, them two on that band, are now the new singer and the new drummer in Onslaught. So Bullwhip Stampede was one of those bands that put out a good album, and then all the other bands just grabbed them.
Pick them off.
So bear with me 1 second. Well, I'm back. Yeah, and that's Under Threat. This is Behind Mankind's Disguise. Fucking awesome album. Which is on Lee Harrison from Monstrosity's record label, Conquest Music, if you are that way inclined. So, yeah, got a bit of a beast of a lineup, and I think a beast of an album. This is your first time hearing it, so this is sort of fresh to you. What's your first impression?
It's worst album he's done so far.
Worse than the Blood and Belief.
Yeah, because at least that had, that wasn't. But there's the nucleus of some good ideas. I just think it was a case of, like, to coin your favourite saying, they were throwing a load of shit at the wall and just seeing what stuck.
Yeah.
But there's some blinding ideas in there, but they're not executed particularly well.
Interesting. Okay. I think the mixture of the thrash and death metal musicians has given him just a shot in the arm, really. I think the last couple of albums were quite groove orientated, quite slow in places, quite dark and sort of menacing and moody. That dark and menacingness is in this, but it's got a bit more of a brutal edge to it. And it's quite good to hear sung vocals over music that's that heavy.
Yeah.
And this is definitely his heaviest album.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt.
And I think the melody's running through it. I think
I think what doesn't help it is the production ain't all that. I mean, obviously, where you can no longer afford Andy Sneap, you're going to take a downward turn because, let's face it, Andy Sneap is the fucking boss.
Well, Andy Sneap as well was probably getting a bit more.
So, mate,
funny enough, do you know who produced this album?
No, I don't. Obviously, I haven't got the hard copy.
Jason Edwards, the guitarist of Wolfsbane.
Oh, right. Fucking hell. Production's all right. It's, you can hear everything and all that. It's just, it's a bit muddy, and hasn't got the clarity that I like. I mean, I think you'll see a trend with me talking about what albums have got good production, what albums haven't, and you'll see a trend as to how I like that
Edwards
sound.
Was recording, engineering, mixing, and mastering, and the actual producers were Blaze, David, and Nicholas. So yeah, the guitarist and bass player and Blaze.
Yeah.
Did the production, recording, engineering, mixing, mastering was done by Jay. So yeah, it looks like it was a bit of a in-house job.
Yeah. Well, you got to save money, ain't you? Especially if
he was starting from scratch. Yeah, like exactly. I say, his wife was his manager.
You can understand why he's done it, but obviously I think it's to the detriment of the album. But again, when you've been working with Andy Sneap, anything's going to sound shit after that.
Yeah. Right. So, anything else you want to cover before we dive into the music?
No, it's I think it's time to go. Let's see what he can bring about from his. This is him sort of on his own 2 feet. He hasn't got the backup, the safety net of the Maiden golden handshake anymore. So this is him truly solo for the first time.
Yeah, definitely, and yeah, it's the first. It's the first album under his full name as well, Blaze. But like this isn't, it's not Blaze, it's not Thing. It's his, So this is technically his first solo album, so to speak. Even though it is done still.
It's a collaborative effort, isn't it? It ain't just him. It's
really cool artwork as well, I think.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
So yeah. There's no messing about on this one. No fancy introduction, no thingy. This just explodes
straight
into the speakers, pummeling drums, good chuggy riffing, good technical riff going on as well. It's very thrashy, got a bit of a
the guitarist definitely, he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't go so far as to say this was death metal, but the death metal aesthetic is definitely.
Oh
there.
They've sort of toned down, isn't it?
They've
But no,
taken classic heavy metal, but just giving it a death metal coating, so to speak. Like the breadcrumbs on a KFC. It's got it's a classic metal chicken with a Colonel's secret recipe of
just stuck on it.
5 different styles of metal, thrash and death mainly. But
that's a good way to sum it up. But no, it is. It's a bit of a song. The song's a bit of a mixed bag for me. I mean, it starts out the gate, fucking, comes out all guns blazing. You've got fucking great main riff, the verse riff. Chorus falls away a bit. It meanders a bit in the middle. But then it comes in with some great lead work.
Some blinding solos on this album. Yeah,
this is very, very. I mean, you're talking about your thrash and your death, but I found this, especially the first few songs, reminded me of Latter Day Megadeth.
Yeah.
But I'm talking Latter Day when Dave pretty much took over and fucking wrote everything before, after Marty and that. But very much the Latter Day Megadeth influence there, and But unfortunately, the song starts a trend that the album doesn't really recover from, and that it's very, very self-indulgent. There's no self-editing. The song is over long, I think, by about a minute. We're not quite in a Metallica death magnetic territory, but
I was thinking actually, you got 12 songs, and it is a package. You
could lose a minute plus on each song and not make the album better.
I haven't looked at the length for this actually. Yeah, bloody hell, it's over an hour long.
Yeah, it is. I was noticing it when for me when I was listening to it on the headphones last night, and when I think, oh right, the song's gonna end, but it doesn't. Yeah. And look at the time, and you're like, fuck me, there's a minute left. What's going on?
Yeah.
And it's pointless, like repeating stuff. Like you repeat a chorus, or you're playing up the same riff from earlier on, and the fat definitely needed trimming. And unfortunately, it's a thing that affects the album all the way through.
Down my water already, and I'm getting sponge mouth. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Fair enough. Like I say, I think it's a good opening track. I think it's a good.
Oh yeah, no, it's
a bit of a statement of intent, isn't it? I am the man that would not die.
There's no fucking about it.
Yeah.
Boom,
I mean,
no.
He's definitely pissed off at someone as well. I mean, what a great line! Hang them with their own lies. When their neck breaks, then my work is done. Like, fuck it.
Yeah, that's Pantera. That's fucking Anselmo lyrics, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or it's the Arno lyrics.
But again, I mean, I can relate to this. I mean, my band days are well and truly behind me, but I really did. I did everything I could with the resources I had. And I remember, it's just sort of like a few things blew up in my face, and it was just like, what are you martyring yourself for here, mate? You're not getting fucking thanked, and you're getting in debt. You're kind of just running on the spot, and it's like, no, but I've got to carry on. I can't give up. And then I kind of got into that, what gamblers refer to as the sunk cost fallacy, where, well, I've done this much, I can't give up now.
Yeah, and it just fucking keep on spiraling.
Yeah, and people do it with businesses, people do it with relationships. It's once you recognise what it is, the sunk cost fallacy. As soon as you have it pointed out to you and you start to recognise it, you know how to avoid it. But I've been in a similar spot, and there's a great line. I have a noose around my neck. It's spun for my hopes and dreams, and it's like, you can hang yourself with your own, ambitions at times, and sometimes you don't see the forest for the trees, and especially if you get hung up on listening to these fucking American people that they're just like, no, failure is not an option. Never give up. Don't listen to people that are negative. And it's like, no, they're not negative. They're fucking trying to help you because they're seeing stuff that you don't, And normally those people are being paid to be to tell people.
It's all a fucking
an option. Yeah, you're that really fucking tall guy. He is. But yeah, stuff like that. you kind of get into that mindset as well, and you get a bit tunnel visioned, and well, it never did Steve Harris in the arm, I suppose, but
no, but for every one, there's 10 that didn't, isn't there?
Yeah, and this is the problem in any sort of, be it a musician, be an entrepreneur. Not that you should not pursue things, but you only ever really hear of the ones that do well. You don't hear of the 100 that fall flat on their face,
That's it.
And you can hit earth with a bit of a bump at times, but you pick yourself up and learn from it. And Blaze knows all about this as much as anyone else.
He's been there and done it, hasn't
he? And I think he knows he's that like that. I think after everything he's been through up to this point, the guy's gone from nothing to the highs to the fucking absolute top.
Yeah.
To come crashing down.
Right away down.
Started again. And he's still carrying on because he wants to be, he's probably at the point I can't do anything else. And he's even tried working a regular job and he's like, no, I can't do it. So yeah, what a great line. I've what was the line again? I have a noose around my neck spun from my hopes and dreams. That's fucking deep. So I think it's got pretty good chorus. I think the little bit leading up to it, but it's more of the climax of the chorus. That I am the man who would not die. But I think every track on this album's got a really catchy chorus. I haven't heard this album in a while actually, but I recognised every song straight away. Yeah. As soon as the song started, I was like, oh yeah, I know this one. I think pretty much all of it's been done live at some point as well. He didn't do the Matter of Life and Death treatment.
Yeah.
But I think he did. I've got a live album from this tour. He did about 6 songs from it.
Does Blaze sort of go out and change the set list every night? Or does he not a Maiden where they got a set list and that's fucking it?
I think he has a bass every night.
Yeah, and
so for say he does a 10 set song
have a core song and then they'll
I think that the 8 main ones will probably stay the same and then he'll chop and change accordingly. I do recommend though, Luke, you watch a couple of his concerts because I do think a lot of these songs click better live.
We've discussed it a couple of times, haven't we, where stuff makes more sense live. So
and a lot of the stuff he's got as DVDs are on YouTube.
Yeah, I will check them out. But I wanted to listen to all his stuff on the album first because I didn't want to get to a live track where I've done like, what the fuck is this? So I want to get his catalogue in and then I can go back. I think
live, that fat does get fried off a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it just happens naturally when you play live, doesn't it? And that happens with every band's. All the fat gets trimmed off for that debut album because it's been played to death live. Yes. And then it's the opposite way round. They then end up doing the album and going, how's this going to work live?
Yeah.
Rather than how are we going to record this, it's how are we going to play this live. And then it goes through that process of being trimmed down. Hence, whilst most bands' debuts are classics, and then like their 6th or 7th album only has like 2 songs of it that survives the set list. So, but yeah, I think it's a good opener. Anyway, it's a good out the gate.
It definitely sets the tone.
So, Blackmailer.
This is well Megadeth. What I was saying earlier.
There was another song actually that reminded me a bit of Ozzy Osbourne. Actually, I'll come to it. I remember thinking this could easily have been on one of the from No More Tears onwards. You know, it could have that sort of 90s era of Ozzy. It would have fit on there. But this song, I have a particular memory. Ex-bandmate, I was listening to this quite a lot at the time, and I was playing this in the car, and we ended up singing the chorus together. And it was Blackmailer. And we're like doing like a Wayne's World to it because it is. He just sort of does this note, but it's like surfing the note.
I've actually made a note that the chorus is it's full of hooks, but it's also annoying at the same time.
Yeah, it's a bit
the start of the chorus is really good, but then when he throws that bit on at the end, it's like, why?
Yeah,
the chorus was so good until then, and then you go and ruin it, like. But
but the bit before the chorus, that where he goes, and you, you took the world of that awesome live. Because you just, the band's just going to that, all lined up. You can imagine the crowd just bouncing along to it as well. And the one thing is, well, he definitely knows how to tailor a song for a live setting. I do think he writes with a live set in mind because they are nicely paced out. You'll have a nice bouncy bit just before the soaring chorus that's nice and fast. He always has.
Also backfires, hence why there's a load of pointless whoa-oh-ohs like there is in this song. They don't work on a CD, but like you say, live, fucking great when you've got 1,000 or 500,000 people singing it, whatever.
Yeah.
But
yeah. Why do you think Bruce manages to pull that off, but Blaze doesn't?
I don't know.
Or it's not that Blaze doesn't. He just kind of maybe does it a bit too. He
does. It's like oh shit, I haven't got any words yet. I know. Whoa.
Yeah.
Whereas Dickinson's they're few and far between.
Yeah.
Because I think it's all down to experience. And let's face it, Bruce is a fucking master showman. He's a master at whatever he does. You know, he's unique.
Mm.
You know, and pretty much whatever he does, he pulls off or can get away with if it doesn't quite work. Whereas someone else.
About John Bon Jovi?
Fucking hell, you talking? Yeah, I was going to say. That's another.
He likes the whoa, doesn't he?
Yeah, and
no.
But he done write his own songs.
His house was built on whoa.
Yeah.
So,
but he don't write songs though, does he?
Does he not?
Most of them are written. They're all co-written, and they were like Desmond Child and people like that. They'll get professional songwriters in.
Fucking.
Yeah, no, don't get me wrong. Obviously, Sam Burrow would write the riffs and.
Who wrote "Living on a Prayer"?
That was a combination of them and I think Desmond Child.
Really?
Yeah, and
well,
you Give Love a Bad Name wasn't.
Fucking world's falling apart here. I'm about to throw my CDs out.
I mean, You Give Love a Bad Name wasn't theirs to start with.
They give fucking songwriting a bad name.
Yeah, that wasn't their song. That was written for them, and they almost turned it down. It's one of our urban legends, mate. So yeah, look it up. It's crazy.
I never knew that.
Yeah,
well, there you go. Never liked that band anyway.
Why do you think Def Leppard and all that did a lot with Mutt Lange? Because Mutt Lange would get involved in the songwriting.
Mm. Oh, so it's his fault.
Yeah, but no, Desmond Child, look him up. He's fucking made so much money off of Bon Jovi. It's unreal.
Oh, I never knew.
Well, out of his own talent because he knows how to write a song.
Well, yeah.
You know, and he'll write a song for a particular artist, and it'll be perfect for them.
Yeah.
One of them guys who couldn't play a note on a guitar himself, couldn't sing, couldn't play drums, but could have melodies in his head all fucking day. And he's like, shit, what do I do? Oh no, I'll give him other bands. And he.
Yeah, there are people like that, aren't there? They're like, I've wrote some of the best, biggest songs ever, but I can't perform. Look at Meatloaf, Jim Steinman, who died recently.
Yeah, exactly. You know, that's exactly it.
Put him at a piano and he can write these things, but no one even knew who he was.
Yeah.
Unless you knew who Meatloaf was.
Some of Lemmy's best songs went to Ozzy.
Yeah, true.
Hellraiser and that, you know, it's like.
Yeah. Right, so I think Blackmailer is another one. This is like one of them trains. Indiana Jones is like in with the thing.
In Temple of Doom, the old minecart.
It's a cart on a track. Once it starts moving, there's no stopping it.
Yeah, for me, this is
just gets faster and faster, and
it's pretty much rinse and repeat of the first track. Really, you know, some great riffs in there, fucking awesome soloing. I've already said about the ill-advised whoa-ohs, but
yes,
again, it's a minute too long.
Still quite dark. I mean, again, this artwork on the front cover, I think, suits the music perfectly.
Oh, it does. Yeah.
Right, moving on then. As I'm interested to see what you think of the next track, "Smile Back at Death," which I didn't realise was 7 minutes plus, to be honest.
Yeah, it's a long bastard, isn't it? He doesn't. You don't really notice though.
No.
It's one of the one times on the album that the song doesn't outstay its welcome.
Yeah.
Mind you saying that. It could have a bit of trimming. I like the start of it, the old dual guitar.
Brilliant. It's like nice crushing, and then that cold melody in it.
You know, that's pretty cool, but it sort of it meanders along again until that dual guitar section comes back in.
Yeah.
But then it meanders again. But you get about I actually wrote down the timestamp. What we look about you got the effect laden picking. He comes in with sort of mellow picking, about 3.5 minutes. And that leads into a section where Blaze sort of culminates with a fucking fabulous long note. Do you know the bit I mean?
Yeah.
And he's normally it can be a bit iffy with Blaze if he tries to hold a note because you feel like fucking hell, his voice is just about to crack. But on this, he fucking does it well.
There's a note, yeah. I think there's one later on when it kicks in. I think it kicks in or something, and he holds a note. And I remember then I was listening to this today while I was mowing along, so I was kind of mentally making notes, but now I'm like checking my mental notepad, and my brain's just going.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was. I think it might have been while you were gone. I think it goes really quiet, but then it kicks in, and he like holds this note as the song kicks in. I remember thinking, yeah, fucking go on, Blaze. But
when he wants to do it, he can do it. It's just he's got to pick and choose his moments because if he hits the wrong moment, it'll. But
sorry, the sun's going right in my eyes. Now to me, this is about the movie Gladiator. Did you get that? It reminded me of Gladiator anyway. The lyrics.
Yeah, so remember where you've had time to digest them. I've been listening to stuff. I'm getting it all fresh. So I'm not really picking out nuances. But if I went back and thought about that.
Let's have a look. Blessed Father, what is that God's will for me? It is their will that I should do this duty alone. I am a slave, and what difference can I possibly make when all I do, I must go.
That's a line from Gladiator.
Day. Yeah, home, let me go home. When death smiles at you, so the Father said, there's nothing left to do but smile back at death. I will show them blood. They will chant my name. Time for a tyrant to fear. Gladiator protector, father to a murdered son. Gladiator protector, I will see my vengeance done.
Oh, fucking hell, yeah.
Yeah.
Big time.
Are you not entertained, Luke?
Yeah, that's it.
It did make me go, I'm going to watch Gladiator later, because that's one of the, I've been watching loads of old films recently, like old films. Films what you
Lawrence of Arabia and all that.
Yeah, and it's you sigh at the end of them and you go, they don't make them like that anymore, do they? And Gladiator was one of those.
Oh, Gladiator was fucking great.
One of the last of those films, I think. And it had actors from that era as well: Richard Harris, Oliver Reed.
That's Oliver Reed's last film, wasn't it?
Yeah.
They had to
Richard Harris as well, wasn't it?
You what?
It wasn't far off.
No, Richard Harris obviously was. No, it wasn't far off because he was doing Harry Potter.
Long after that, did he?
But you think yourself lucky they didn't make the sequel?
Oh, God.
Where Maximus basically travelled through time.
Give it time, mate. The crap they're coming out with now.
Who was it? It was a musician wanted to get involved with it. Check it out online. It's a fucking crazy story, and you'd be like, "What?" Yeah. Would have completely destroyed the first film because the first film is a masterpiece.
Yeah.
Well, the film is a masterpiece, not the first film, but it's just like fucking. The sequel was like, right, take the mushrooms away from that man. Because there clearly been too many.
I saw a video the other day. I've not watched it yet, but I saved it to my watch later thing, and someone's put in the case that The Rock is actually a Bond film.
Yeah, he's putting two and two together and coming up with 9.
Yeah, I get that, but
it would be cool. But there's some blatant fucking things where you think, mate, you're just stop it. You've just contradicted yourself. But you're
a lot of people that make these things don't. Yeah, that was the It was like the whole, why don't they make giant Bonds that it's not actually him, he just takes on the name. Yeah. So it's a code. It's like, no, but it was the same Bond all the way through. This is again,
the code was 007.
Up until Daniel Craig, it was actually the same Bond. Yeah. They do continue.
Because they reference fucking the wedding and all that. Yeah. In the Timothy Dalton films, they reference George Lazenby. So like you say, it is.
Yeah, they reference his wife in Spy Who Loved Me as well.
Yeah. So, no, like you say, it's only with Daniel Craig they rebooted it, and then that's going to be the same Bond.
Yeah,
I'd imagine because but no, it was a nice idea, and I'd like to see it. You could, it could work, but it gets annoying after a while.
No, I think this is a bit of an epic. Actually, I think this song goes for a couple of different
it does, yeah. And when I said it's still a bit too long, I'm only talking
a few.
It still works about 6.5 minutes.
Yeah, okay. A nice sort of dark, sort of middle section, nice clean.
Yeah, I think where it goes back, you got the
to a nice. Yeah,
The Geordie
with a
type
nice
that
solo
come
over
for
the
the
top.
third time, and it should have ended there because it would have brought the song full circle. But they tack it on a bit at the end, and it's like, oh fucking really? You ruined the symmetry.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe you're right. Well, you probably got a point there. The again, the band are producing it with a mate. Yeah. You can imagine. Someone somewhere is going to go, do you think you should snip that? No.
Yeah.
Especially not guitarist.
That's it.
Yeah, it was produced by the guitarist and the singer. So, no.
Fucking forget it.
Yeah.
I mean, you were right. While you were gone, I was looking at my notes, and there is the long note.
Oh, right. Cool. We'll get into that then. Yeah, this is an important song to keep in mind later on. I'll just say that for now. Yeah, not often that metalers do love songs and pull them off, but I think this is done right.
Yeah, no, yeah, pretty good. I mean, it's I did get that vibe from it. I was like, should I be getting this vibe or not?
Yeah.
But no, I mean, it's a fucking great riff. It starts out. I mean, it's a fucking excellent riff, and then it goes into that mellow section with like I said, with a long note again. But it falls a bit awkwardly. It doesn't sort of flow smoothly. It's almost like a cut and paste type thing. It's weird. But I like the change of pace in the middle, and then it goes back into that intro riff again. It's the best song on the album so far. I think we've been a bit on an upward curve. The first one was all right. Black Mailer.
So you're basically throughout this whole album, you're basically saying everything's there. It just needed a better producer to tidy it up.
It's a case of if these guys if this had been the third album with this lineup, you wouldn't be getting this.
Yeah.
And I don't know how long this lineup sticks around. Obviously, I'm going to find that out as I move on. Because I must say, I haven't, as Joe knows, I haven't really done Blaze as a solo artist. I liked the first album, but that was as far as I went. So now I'm finding all these out on my own journey. But I imagine it's just sort of them not knowing each other really, and just a band who's been together a long time wouldn't be making these sort of
it's his fourth album, but the band's first. Yeah.
So but no, there's definitely some great riffs and great ideas in there. I mean, fucking hell, and they're all savages at their instruments. I mean, the drummer, fucking hell, later on, Christ.
Oh yeah, he's a beast. This guy. Yeah, definitely. And he does pull together some good musicians actually, and they're all unknown to a point. I mean, obviously, the guy on the first couple of albums was no slouch either. Yeah. In fact, even that last album, as much as you didn't like that album, you were like the drummer's on good form, and that was
yeah.
No, a really good song. Yeah, it's good to show that sort of side. It's not something that's explored often in metal. It doesn't fall into like sort of ballad territory either. It's quite seems quite heartfelt and quite raw and honest. It's like he's wearing his heart.
It's a bit like Howard Jones has a knack of doing it with End of Heartache and Rose of Sharon.
Yeah,
it's definitely both blatantly ballads, for lack of a better word, but they're not false. They're still metal. They're not mawkish. They're done right, and not many people can get away with it.
Yeah. Right. So moving on. I don't think you're going to like this next song because this
one falls down like a fucking house of cards. Yeah. So we got those like why? It should have started. It should have come in with all of them together on even a four count.
Yeah.
See, I could have lived with that. That's a pretty good section, but the bass on its own, a guy can play, but it's just like, here, look at me. And I did resist the urge to skip this. I was thumbing the fucking skip button because I really don't like this song at all. Just more ill-advised fucking whoa-oh-ohs and far too long again.
What did you think? For a single, I think this was a single, but
Robot, wasn't it?
Robot was, sorry, you're right there. What do you reckon that riff that comes in at the end of the chorus, that that one?
Like I say, I was struggling with this. Like I say, I like this. If it started all together, that'd have been a good way to start it. But like I say, it's the 30. We've gone from the best song on the album to probably the worst.
Oh,
like that, and it's but again, I try not to shit on it too much because this is the sound of a band finding their feet. You know, finding their feet on a record.
Yeah.
They haven't been rehearsing this for 2 years like Maiden did, or like Metallica did, or whatever. They're finding their feet, and it's, you know, I'm trying not to shit on it too much.
Yeah, I think if the production's a problem as well, you're in for a pretty tough time because a lot of this is DIY going forward as well. I mean, the guy has a pretty limited budget, and a lot of those later albums were crowdfunded as well. So.
You know, production isn't shit because you can hear everything.
Yeah,
that's a bugbear of mine when you can't hear shit. As obviously I've been with Maiden, when you can't hear Nick goes kick drums or whatever. But it's just obviously been spoiled by having the governor, you know, the man with the plan, Andy Snape, and then you coming down as a bit of a shitter. So I'm not going to shit on that aspect too much.
Yeah.
I might quibble about it, but I'm bearing in mind the situation surrounding why, you know. So it's a
okay, right. Well, A Crack in the System. I think this is a good song, but the chorus does get a bit repetitive.
The Steve Harris chorus alert?
Crack in the system.
Oh.
It does tend to work live, though. I will say that.
I imagine, but you can get some crowd interaction going with it, I suppose.
But with that being said, I do like the music. I do like the song overall. I think there's some really good riffs in here. It's sort of hidden, and there's loads of little bits sparkled across. I do like the lyrics as well to this track. But yeah, I do find the cracking the system does tend to,
you know, it just
a bit repetitive.
Stop it.
Yeah.
But no, this has been two in a row. It's like, oh fucking hell. Again, fantastic soloing, but it don't really save the song. And obviously, don't try and do this as a drinking game because you'll die.
What, do a shot or down a pint every time he says cracking the system? Yeah. Yeah, I've not done that in a long time. A drinking game. I've not done any drinking in a long time either. But right, neither of you. Bloody hell. Yeah.
Oh no, I had a whiskey on holiday.
You had a whiskey?
Well, I had a whiskey and a Cuban.
Did you?
And and both of them reminded me why I don't do either anymore. We had Kerry and I shared a scotch. Because we're like, when in Rome, let's have a scotch. And I had a Cuban, was outside looking over this majestic view and all that. And my Cuban, it was like, oh, fucking, this is shit. And the whiskey was like liquid fire.
I do not like whiskey. And I've tried. Scotch, not for me. There's something about it, just rum all the way for me. All day long.
My poison was American whiskey. I was Southern Comfort.
Yeah. No, like a good rum. With just an ice cube in. Nice dark and smoky, slightly spicy as well. You got it's like a spicy going down, but then afterwards there's a nice vanilla sort of aftertaste, and it's warm. It don't sting.
Yeah. We had fucking Glenfiddich, and it was like.
Fuck. I've never been able to get on with it, I'm afraid. So.
It was grim, so that reminded me why I haven't drunk.
Apologies to the Madman crew.
Yeah. All them nice things they said about you.
Yeah, yes. I like shortbread.
Who doesn't?
Yeah. Right, moving on. Robot. Another important song, I think. I think this is a precursor to the concept album that comes in a few albums down the road. But what do we reckon of this one then? Yeah,
this is a bit better, nice upbeat. Obviously, in the chorus, the drummer's feet go on an exhibition of their own.
Yeah,
shows off what he can do. He pretty much owns the song in general. To be fair, this is his time to shine. Not that he hasn't, the playing hasn't been well all the way through, but this was the advanced one. This actually came out as like an EP before the album. Oh, right, yeah. Yeah, but he's like, right, lads, hold my beer, sort of thing. So he's had a go, and he knows how to do it. There's that weird guitar melody bit about midway through, and it's like, what? Doesn't really work. Solo again comes back in, and that is really, really good. But even at 3 minutes 10 seconds, it feels a bit long. Fuck, I don't know what it is. It was like I was looking at it, thinking it was like In and Agada Davida or saying, I Am Butterfly, but it's just bizarre. But this is perhaps one of those where a band further into their career would have gone, you know what? Let's not put this on there. Let's strip it for parts,
strip this down. Yeah,
we can use this bit in another section and all that. So, again, I can see why they're doing it. It just not working for my ears.
Yeah, no, I think this is pretty balls to the wall song. I think it's quite good. I think on that chorus where he's I think he should have done like some sort of distortion on his voice or made it just a bit heavier. But
yeah, I can see that working.
I think that would have worked and given it a bit more of an edge. But that's just not Blaze's style, is it? So
no, that's it. He's you know what you're getting from Blaze.
Yeah,
like vocal wise, because I mean that is one of his criticisms, isn't it? That he's a bit one note. He ain't got a range.
Yeah,
and I think that's why he got unfairly mistreated with Maiden and by critics, because they're going, "Oh, he ain't Bruce Dickinson, is he?" And it's like, there ain't fucking. There's only about 4 people in the world who can compete with Bruce Dickinson, and one of them's dead.
Yeah,
2 of them are dead.
The general sort of thing I saw from reviews of Blaze, pretty much all the way through his career, from the small amount of people that did care to review him, was he's now found his feet. Like, it was always whatever he lacked in Maiden, he's now got in spades.
Yeah.
And mainly from his live performances. And it was generally like, if Bruce didn't come back to the band for whatever reason, and they're like, don't get us wrong, the right thing did happen. But if it didn't, if they'd stuck with him, he probably would have found his feet.
Yeah.
And they
would have done. It's always the third album, isn't it?
Yeah.
The first one, you're flying on fucking adrenaline. The second one, you're like, oh, fuck. And then third one, boom.
Yeah.
As it proved with Maiden, Killers, and Number of the Beast.
No, but yeah.
But, one man's opinion.
Yeah.
If you want to piss some Gumbies off on the internet, go into an Iron Maiden group on Facebook and say Killers is shit.
Yeah, I've seen.
Fucking hell, mate. I've got... They're outside my house with pitchforks.
Yeah. Well, you brought that on yourself, I'm afraid.
Obviously not a Maiden
no sympathy whatsoever.
Obviously not a Maiden fan.
Is that a megaphone I can hear now, actually?
Yeah. Fucking hell.
At the end of the day, now this one harks back to the this I think could be on Silicon Messiah or something like that.
Yeah, that's probably why I took a shine to it. And if anything, I'm going to go against myself. This song,
yawning like anything,
it's too short.
Oh, Luke.
I know. There's no Goldilocks, is there? Yeah, but there's so many fucking great bits of music in this. They don't really get a chance to breathe. It's literally is one, is another. And it's like, oh, fucking hell, let them flow.
Yeah.
You could have got a 6-7 minute out of this, because there's some beautiful music in it.
Yeah.
Fucking some beautiful music, but it's just some of the best on the album, but it just doesn't get a chance to really expand and go anywhere, which is a shame. Because this could have been, like I say, a 6 or 7 minute job. This would have smashed it.
Great lyrics as well on this one as well. It's a bit of reflection going on this one.
Yeah, and I think it's one of his better vocal performances as well, I think.
Yeah. It's a thing I think we've all been in as well, you try and sort of decipher something that's gone wrong or something, and you sort of, the more you think about it, you go, what happens.
Yeah.
Fuck what I can do about it now.
Yeah, that's it.
And I think that was pretty much what this song's saying. But it's cool song.
Yeah, no, it is very good. And like I say, just needs to be a bit longer.
Yeah. So I can hear an alarm clock, can you? I wake up to a grinding day. Yeah. Waiting for my life to begin.
Filler.
Yeah.
I like the chorus though.
Because this is filler.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I like the chorus, and they got the old the double kick chugging guitar repeated section. That's the best way I can describe it, really. But that's pretty cool. But too long. We've just had a song where it deserved to be longer, and you got filler, blatant filler.
I do like the lyrics of this song, though. I do like the alarm clock and then that I wake up to a grinding day. I mean, I still do pretty long hours now, but fucking hell, about 10 years ago, I remember I had about 3 days off in 2 months. And yeah, it was just every...
Fucking talk about Groundhog Day.
Yeah, yeah. And this song, it was like, yeah, this is me. Yeah. So yeah, sometimes I'd even like wake up with this song stuck in my head because I wake up and crying in day. Pitch black when I go out, pitch black when I come home.
Yeah.
And, yeah. But yeah, I do miss that little house though. My first proper house. But yeah. I think it's a good song that yeah, the one in Raynham. The it's a song we all go through, isn't it? We all fucking do that thing where it just work. It's as if it never ends, and you know, especially if you bang a couple of weekends in as well. It's just you're running on a treadmill, ain't you?
It's
you finally make a bit of money to get you back on board, but then something fucking goes wrong, and then that money goes on that, and then
slave to the grind, mate.
Yep.
Skid Row, they wrote a good song about that.
Yeah, but I think it's again he goes for a whole different host. You know, we were fucking chasing time warps a few albums ago, and now we're singing about
mind you, tells you where he is though, doesn't it, or where he was at the time? Like you say,
it's always a snapshot of his life at the time, isn't it? And you know, he's always worn his heart on his sleeve, and he's always sort of, you know, said what he saw at the time. You know, In fact, that's one thing worth pointing out. Actually, this album in Blaze's solo catalogue, this is kind of the part of a trilogy in my eyes. And when you go through his solo albums, you can kind of see where he is in his life. So those first couple of albums, he's getting quite out there with his concepts. He's talking about, you know, Silicon Messiah is about technology and humans' relationship with it. Obviously 10th Dimension, he goes completely out there. He starts talking about quantum physics and alternate dimensions and what you know. What was the third one called? Blood and Belief. Yeah, that's where things are starting to go a bit skew with, and all of a sudden it starts coming a bit more real life. This song is this album's a bit more about real life, and then the next album, which we'll come to when we get to it, is about, you know, overcoming tragedy and getting your life back, you know, picking up the pieces. That's over the next couple of albums. But then Blaze is married now with a child. I don't know if he's got more than one, but I know he does have one child. He's got this really good thing with his fans now. You know, he runs everything through his website. He's got people pre-ordering albums. He's always selling like good merch, T-shirts, makes his own mugs and all the rest of it. And then you can tell he's happy again because on the Infinite Entanglement, 3 albums, a concept, it's a big story. There's comic books coming out. But again, you can tell when he's working shit out, it gets real and it gets dark. And then when he's in a good place, he gets creative. And starts going fictional, you know. So, and obviously he's still in a good place as well with this new album where he's talking about different, you know, influential figures. It's his song, you know. So, long may it continue. I don't want to see, you know, I don't want him to be depressed in order to get a heavier album again.
Yeah, no, you want to be a bit creative, don't you? You want to know that he's
said. I did prefer Trent Reznor when he was fucked up. Now he's like sober and a bodybuilder. His music's well gone downhill.
Yeah,
I preferred him when he was having a nervous breakdown in the studio. The best stuff.
That's what everyone said about Megadeth, wasn't it?
Yeah.
They all preferred them when they had fucking it when they were on heroin because they were writing Peace Cells and Rust in Peace. They get clean and they start doing Symphony Countdown and Euthanasia and that. But,
yeah. But well, what song are we on anyway? I've completely gone off on one. Waiting for My Life to Begin. We covered that, didn't we?
yes, we were on
Right.
Voices from the Past.
A highlight for me. Really.
Yeah, it's a fucking brilliant intro. But the dual vocal harmony thing doesn't quite work. Another catchy as Crab's chorus. Yeah. Another brilliant solo. Too long. There's a pattern.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, oh, fucking hell. You know?
Great song live as well. Again, another great lyrics, you know, Voices of the Past. We've, you know, maybe in the middle of the night, something comes back to you, that some unsettled score or, you know, something that some regret maybe of some sort, you know. But again, he's bearing his soul on this one.
Yeah.
You know, this is a guy that's had a lot and lost a lot. So you can take a guess at what he's alluding to specifically. But yeah, great melody on this. That yes, I mean, one thing with Blaze as well. Yeah, it might be too long, but he always writes a memorable song. You will always. I don't think you would if you went to see a live show, you wouldn't struggle. You'd recognise every song he's doing.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, like so I've only seen him once, and he was doing a Maiden set.
Yeah.
So I haven't really got the Blaze experience.
I'm pretty sure this one was done live. I'm trying to think if it is or not, but I think pretty much all this album was done at some point. This is he did massively push this album, so it's popular with the fans as well. This one, so a lot of these songs are on his set. So that's why I say definitely check it out live, because I think that fat that you're saying needs trimmed, I think would just naturally be trimmed in the live setting, because you play stuff faster in a live show.
Yeah,
anyway.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you get gig speed. But I'm going to get through the catalogue, then I'll revisit the live stuff. And like I say, there'll probably be a newfound appreciation for some of the songs that I've given a bit of a kick in.
Yeah, no, great chorus, some great riffs, great solos, brilliant melodies. That opening.
Yeah, that's fucking awesome. That is.
Yeah, bit of Death Angel, if anything. That reminded me of. That's a band I've got to do a Let's Talk About video. Keep that one in your notepad, but look, guys. Yeah, Death Angel, underrated band. Anyway, right. The Truth Is One. I'm trying to think of the one actually that reminded me of Ozzy. Can't remember what that one was. There's definitely one I thought, yeah, this could be Ozzy. Might have even been Voices of the Past. End of the day, right?
Might be with that vocal harmony. Might be where you.
Might have been cracking the system actually.
You know.
I don't know. Mate, I can't remember. It weren't a thing. It just slightly made me think, yeah, kind of Ozzy-ish. There was another song a few albums ago we said this sounds a bit like Ozzy, weren't there?
Yeah, there was. Yeah, because he was doing he had one that sounded like Ozzy and then one that sounded like Sabbath.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
I think that was on Blood and Belief.
Yeah. Right. I'm gonna step into Luke's chair a little bit now. Not a bad track, this one, but I think the album should have closed with Voices from the Past. I think that would have left things on a slightly bleak, on a bleak note, really. I thought that would have been a good little climax of a song, and it's 10 tracks. I think that should have been that would have been a good album closer. I don't think we need these last two, must be said.
No, I can. The drum intro on this, you know, it's good drumming, but it's pretty pointless. It doesn't really do anything.
Yeah,
it's a nice up tempo song, but again, is it you know, another fucking
Maideny during the solo on this one as well.
Solo.
I thought.
What's that?
The like during the solo section, actually reminded me a little bit of Maiden.
Yeah, I think it'd be difficult to find someone who hasn't anything isn't. Especially, I imagine, especially if you're writing with Blaze, you would have a Maiden. You'd have your Maiden head on anyway. a bit of a weird one.
Yeah, but he didn't. The time he was in Maiden wasn't a lot of typical Maiden going on at that point, was there? They kind of.
I imagine these guys have probably watched the live shows of him now. I don't know where they're from. I mean, Bermudez says to me they're from sort of Latin America or whatever, or sort of that southern US.
Yeah, but the other guys are English.
Spain. You know, I don't want to be don't racist about it.
No, Lawrence and Jay are British.
Oh, right.
And David and Thingy are from Colombia.
Oh, well, there you go. Yeah. So, I mean, the Colombians, they fucking love it, don't they?
Yeah.
I mean, I think there's that documentary not long released on Maiden when they announced their first show in Colombia. And a couple of kids, like fucking teenagers, moved heaven and earth to try and get tickets and actually made a film about it because it was this fucking big deal. Like Maiden had come to Colombia. Like,
yeah.
Oh, you know, they just fucking, they love it. They live for it, don't they? All of sort of Central and South America. We talk about metal. That's why so much shit comes out of there because they just love metal.
Mm.
You know, they don't worry about how good it is. Is it metal? Yes, fucking get it out there.
Yeah.
That's why Diano's still fucking playing.
Yeah.
He's made a career out of playing over there.
Yeah. Quite some good bands are coming out as well, you know. Like
There's some awesome bands out there, but for every one, there's 9,000 that are fucking terrible.
Yeah, no, I'll check that Under Threat album out as well. That's pretty good. Yeah, it's death metal, but it goes melodic when it needs to as well. But yeah, Truth is one. Is a bit of it's neither here nor there really. I didn't really think much of it. And
Serpent Hearted Man. I mean, it's probably the heaviest song on the album, but pretty good verse riff. Drummer smashing it on the solo section again, but it's just
so long.
Yeah. And this is like what I said earlier, like coining your phrase, where they're just fucking right. Get it out there. Get it on a record. What works? If it works, it works. If it don't, fuck it. We'll try again on the next one. Does this line up? Does this line up record the next album?
Yes.
Right. So I'm hoping that I will, from my point of view, I'm hoping I will see some progress and some of the things I've taken from this will be rectified on the next one, which, to be fair, they should be, because musicians are all of the same mindset. They'll overanalyze to fuck what they've done previously to try and make the next one, you know, so they can move forward, sort of thing. So it's
right. Well, this album is an hour and 2 minutes long. The next album is 55 minutes. So yeah, we've literally got a song.
So yeah, there's
on average, yeah.
Or there's all those songs.
Opening track, 3 minutes 30 seconds. Second track, 3 minutes 9 seconds.
There we go.
Yeah.
Because all them tracks I was saying,
there's no song goes into 7 minutes.
They're 45 seconds too long, it's a minute too long. That's that fat being trimmed almost immediately. So I can't wait to hear it.
6 minutes 26 seconds. That's the longest song on the next album.
Yeah, I've done. Fucking
hell. The average length on this album.
Yeah, I'm not against long songs because we're fucking we're talking about this current era Maiden possibly being the best era Maiden ever, and there ain't a song below 25 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it ain't all about the length; it's about what you do with that length. And that sounds wrong, doesn't it? But it's about what you do with it, and if you're just repeating shit and all that, like Metallica. Look at Death Magnetic. You know, it's 78 minutes long, and every song's like 9 minutes pretty much, but a lot of them could be 3 minutes.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? There's so many.
That was the classic example, wasn't it, of
self-editing gone out the window.
Well, it weren't even that. Yeah, but it was the crowd's reaction to it because everyone was just like, "Yeah, Metallica are back. It's the second coming. It's the best thing they've done since fucking and Justice for All."
But it's not.
It's like, don't get carried away.
No, there's so many good.
It wasn't St. Anger.
Saying
just
that,
be grateful for that.
The same because every song was fucking long.
Yeah,
but there were so many good ideas on both of them albums.
Yeah,
just a bit of fucking self-editing in the studio. Do we really need to make this song another 5 minutes longer than it currently is? No.
Yeah.
Right, here you go, bosh. And you've got a fucking brilliant album. Forget the production and all that shit. But this album isn't anywhere as bad as them two, like in terms of unnecessary song lengths, but it can make or break an album, can make or break a song. And unfortunately, this is on the break side.
Yeah. It was a bit of a. There's interesting things going on, but it feels kind of just cobbled together. And
but again, it sounds like it's a band. They're having teething problems. They're flying on the seat of their pants. Basically, they're just like, fuck it, let's just get out there.
Yeah.
And I'm taking that on board. And for me, this is 6 out of 10. I did give it less than that on last night, but I've sort of reevaluated it this morning and I was like, no, I'm being a bit hard on it. They're fucking out there, they're doing it, they're trying. He's started again, and there is some fantastic music on the album. He just needs a bit of manipulation, and it's good. So 6 out of 10 for me on this one.
I'm
interested to see where he goes from this.
I would give this maybe a 7 or even an 8. I think he had 2 songs at the end, but I've never really looked at it in a critical way before. I always just used to play it because I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And it was just part of a ongoing catalogue. I would go through phases of listening to a certain band, and this is when I first got an iPod as well, where I would basically just play it like a box set. I was like, one day, especially as I mentioned as well, at that particular time when I was just working non-stop, I would go, right, an album on the way to work, an album on the way home. And I would basically go through a band's back catalogue like during a course of a week or two.
Yeah.
And I just used to do that with everyone. So this was basically day 3. So I just used to basically, I'm listening to this album today, and then the songs that I'd pick up that I'd recognised in the live show. But I do think there's some great songs on this. Again, this is him at his heaviest. I think the bands he's got on this is a really good lineup. I would go as far as to say, this is this and the next album is some of his best ever stuff.
Oh right.
Yeah, it's not perfect, but the stuff that its finer points more or less make up for the other things. I mean, yeah, could have done with a bit of tidying up or whatever, but yeah, there's a lot worse things on other albums that are, such as Metallica and things like that. So, no, I think there's a lot of good stuff on this. I think Smile Back at Death is a great song. While You Were Gone, Samurai, Voices from the Past, I think is a fantastic song.
Yeah.
But then songs like Robot and Samurai, maybe the chorus is a bit, but they're still fun. It's fun when it needs to be. It's dark and brooding when it needs to be. It's fucking brutal when it needs to be as well. But it's always that lovely melody, just holding it all together and cruising it through. And like I say, all Black Sabbath, all Blaze Bayley stuff, you always remember it. He does know how to turn a song round and make it memorable. And just off the back of that as well, he did The Night That Would Not Die, live album DVD. And I thought that was cool on the back as well. Just put the set list, fuck it.
Yeah.
And at this point, the unthinkable happened. So obviously, Blaze gets married. His wife, old friend or old flame, it was never quite specified. Got him back on his feet. Got this record out.
Is this where I think you're going?
Had a full tour booked. And the day this album came out, they had a in-store signing session on record release day. And Debbie looked a bit shaky, Are you all right? And all of a sudden she collapsed dead there and then. I reckon it was an aneurysm in the brain.
Fucking, yeah. I thought you were down.
Yeah, she read it. They said the only thing that was it was quick and painless because it was just gone. And then it was like, well, what do I do? I've got a tour.
Yeah.
So what they said was, well, this was the tour that she booked. She would have wanted us to go, and they went and did the tour. And I think this was recorded on the last night. And, While You Were Gone was dedicated to her. And you read everyone, even the band members, write letters, tribute pieces to her. So this was a fitting tribute to Debbie. And but the next album is fucking dark. Brace yourself.
I can imagine. Yeah.
So
I can't imagine, but I can.
Yeah. you can imagine he's just got everything back together, and then
and it's all fucking rug pulled out.
Life's gone. Yeah, fuck that.
Yeah,
can't have you doing well.
No, that's it.
Let's just smash this one on you.
Yeah,
and so things get pretty bleak for old Blaze. He never gets it easy, bless him. And but the next one it gets a bit heavy, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. I thought I'd just tell the story now, just to say that with While You Were Gone, I said remember that later. Cause
yeah.
And do you want to look at the set list on this, actually?
Yeah, go on.
It's right, opening up with 3 numbers from this. Man Who Would Not Die, Blackmailer, Smile Back at Death. Then we've got Alive, Identify, Kill and Destroy, Ghost in the Machine, 10 Seconds. So a big chunk of the first 3 albums. Then we get Future Real, Lord of the Flies. Then we get Leap of Faith. That was on the second album, wasn't it? That was on.
I think so. Yeah, it was.
Edge of Darkness.
Fucking hell.
Cracking the System. Voices from the Past. Stare at the Sun. Born as a Stranger. Fucking long set.
Yeah.
Man on the Edge. Then While You Were Gone. And then finishes with Samurai and then Robot. So yeah, pretty long. Long old set list.
Yeah, and it's sort of plucked from everything, isn't it? Really.
Yeah. So yeah, all in all, I think it's a net benefit and a good addition to the catalogue. And then next week we will be checking out The Final Frontier. It wasn't, but you know, it got everyone worried.
The album that shit the life out of a load of Maiden fans.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking forward to reassessing this one. Actually,
you're not sure about it, are you?
I always slightly struggled with it, but it's been a while, so yeah, fresh ears. Well, I'll be on for a clean slate on this one.
I can remember that there's some of Maiden's finest ever music on this.
Yeah,
but there's also some stuff we like. Really?
Yeah.
So it's is the wheels coming off the fucking train? We've had 4 bangers, haven't we?
Yeah.
Or 3 bangers. 3
yeah.
Fucking hell, yeah, I've lost count. 3 absolute bangers. Can it continue?
Well,
there's only one way to find out.
Tune in next week, folks.
Tune in.
So you've made it to the end, and if you're new to the channel, give us one of them and subscribe if you like, if you feel you need to do so. I don't like telling people to do that, but I keep told time and time again, you do have to remind people to do it.
Yeah.
So
do it.
Oh, man. As always, go back and listen to some old episodes. Listen to this whilst listening to it yourself. Use it as an introduction or an afterthought. Give us your comments. Tell us what you think. Tell us how wrong we are or how right we are.
Tell us how wrong I am about Killers, please.
And yes. You can never remind him enough. So, and until that time, have a good week, everyone. Stay safe and above all, stay sane. Do not let the bastards grind you down. And we'll see you all soon. Take care. Bye.